so used to it. All that she grows from it. She don't want it. She don't want to, but now she's in too deep, and it feels lonely. She asks, is it worth all the upkeep if no one really knows me?
Hi guys, welcome back to another SoundTonic Interview Series interview. So we are about to hop into this interview pretty quickly. I always do a bit of an introduction prior to our interviews because I like to talk about SoundTonic, what it is, why it's important for artists to be a part of, and the mission, which is ultimately to widen the music community. We want people to feel like they can reach out and connect with people faster, easier. And we also just want to have an outlet where artists can actually talk about their work. Music creators can talk about their work. They can talk about the things they're doing and just what it means to them. So I want to make sure that we're directing our focus on just the craft itself and embodying that just connection, that usefulness, that how can we support people, nature, and community. So if you are interested at all in being a part of our workshops, being a part of our events that are coming up soon, just send me an email and I would love to send you some details regarding all of the fun stuff that's coming up. But anyways, in the meantime, we do have these lovely interviews that are happening. I am super excited for this next interview because I stumbled across her, I think, as I was kind of looking at artists online, and I'm a big, find the next artist on here, find somebody new, find someone new to listen to at least. I like listening to people from all over the place. So I came across her and I'm like, she looks so cool, first of all. Second of all, she has such a dope voice. And she just has a stark quality about her that I feel like needs to be talked about. We need to talk about just the beginnings of it. And we also need to talk about kind of how the growth of that came about, because I feel that people see beautiful and talented people and they're like, how do you do this? How do you manage being an artist and work life and collaborating? What do you do? So I definitely felt like she was someone that we could learn from. Claire, if you're in here, I'm going to go ahead and add you. But everyone, introducing Claire Maisto. I'm so excited. Me okay. Okay. It's just loading fast. Hi, Claire.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, how are
Good.
you?
How are you?
I'm doing phenomenal today, especially because you're here with
Oh
me.
my
How are you? What's
God. I'm
on?
great. I'm better after that intro. That was so sweet.
I was starstruck. I was like, oh my God, she's so cute. She's got an awesome style and she's got a great voice. And I was like, I have to have her
Oh
on
my
here. So
God. Thank you so much.
thank you. Thank you for joining us. I have so many questions, and I definitely wanted to start with the artist question I always ask everyone. It's my fun little bonus. I wanted to ask, so if you could be any song today, just based on the day you've had, maybe even the week you've had, what song would you be and why?
I think I would be Nice Out by Kilo Kish. Just because I'm in Nashville, Tennessee right now. It's like a beautiful, perfect fall day right now. It really is nice out. But I also just love like her synth style of music. It's on my running playlist. It like always gets me amped. So I think that's what I'd be today.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. And yeah, we always need like a soundtrack for our lives when we're walking outside, going places.
Totally.
I'm I'm gonna look her up now that you've mentioned it. So
She
thank
rocks. Yeah, honestly, do.
Okay, I will. And I always start from kind of the beginning because I know we're gonna go through a few questions. I wanted to ask you, so how did your musical journey begin? What happened to kind of prompt this career in your life? What made you like, you know what, I'm gonna be a singer today?
I guess I've been making music my whole life. I
Mm,
always loved singing, so I think like if we're getting down to like the real beginning, like I specifically remember I was singing Christmas carols with my family.
Aw.
And one day my dad, when I was probably like 9 or 10 or something, and he was like, "Oh, you're actually like kind of good at that." And I was like, I think I'll like make this the rest of my life just from that one thing. But I always just like loved singing, and I would like learn piano. I was always kind of like a mediocre piano player, to be honest, but it like became a thing where I was so mediocre at piano that I wanted to sing all these like cover songs, but it would take me too long to learn them on piano. So I was just kind of like, okay, whatever. I guess I'll just like write my own
Yeah.
songs because I can't figure out how to play these other ones. So I kind of like use that to my advantage almost. And I've just been like writing songs my whole life, but was really like I moved to Nashville for college and I was studying songwriting at my university.
Yeah.
So that was when I really started to take it more seriously and pursue it more as like a career.
Wow. That's such a cool story. I actually love the fact that your family already sought it out. They're like, yeah, something's going on.
Yeah, my dad's the best. They're so
I
supportive.
love that. I love that so much. And I mean, like, so, I mean, to piggyback off of that, how do you feel like you would describe your voice or your genre to someone who's never heard your music before?
I would say I had a friend who he described me as a soulful Troy Sivan, and that was like the best comparison for me because I feel like it's like a little bit alternative R&B, it's a little bit pop. I've definitely been on a more kind of like I've been really inspired by like dance music, house music lately, so kind of like an R&B house music thing, but the soulful Troy Sivan, I was really like, okay, actually that. Thank you.
That's amazing, especially when we like certain people and we're like, oh my gosh, I just want to sound, or not sound
Yes,
to be compared to some people is like so cool, especially if you really love.
totally.
That's cool. Okay. And then, I mean, I typically don't go into this right away, but I feel like it is a huge part of being an artist. There are struggles, there are things that you see and you're like, okay, this is the only thing that's stumping my growth right now. Do you have any of those things that you find is like a bigger a challenge in your music career? Anything that's been tough for you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think one of the biggest challenges I've had to really overcome has been like, I'm kind of like the social aspect of it. Like, I really used to have a lot of social anxiety and like the thought of like hitting people up to write, or even when I was first playing with my band, I remember I would get so much anxiety texting them to be like, oh, hey, like, do you guys want to play this show with me? And they're like, all the
Oh,
nicest people. They're like so down to do it, but I'm like, wait, do they hate me? So it definitely like that whole aspect of kind of like coming out of my shell and having like confidence really to just like hit people up and like network and stuff like that.
yeah.
That has always kind of been a struggle for me. But I feel like I've gotten better. My kind of like day job to support myself is I'm a server. So it was funnily enough, like once I started serving tables, you really have to talk to strangers all the time. Like you kind of embarrass yourself all the time. It's just like it was almost like exposure therapy.
Mm.
And funnily enough, that like helped boost my confidence. Like even people close to me were like, something's different. Like you're not afraid to talk to people anymore.
Wow.
So that has definitely helped. It's still something that I feel like I need to work on though, just because I'm such like an introvert at heart.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny that you say that because I genuinely feel like a lot of music creators are very to themselves, which makes sense because music or being a music creator is such a sensitive thing. You're pulling from so many places, and
Totally.
it's internal creation that like putting it out there sometimes feels like people are like looking at it a certain way, like so totally get that. And it's actually really cool that you were a server. Do you how did you find the balance to be an artist? And like I know everyone works a 9 to 5 when they're an artist. There's unless you've gotten lucky and ended up being Beyonce, but is there like a is there a balance that you found in that and kind of working your day-to-day stuff and then trying to pursue this goal that you have as an artist?
Yeah, for sure. It definitely like what I have enjoyed about serving is a lot of the time it's like you can make like good money doing it. So it's definitely a little bit more flexible, or like I don't necessarily have to do like the whole
Yeah.
9 to 5, like 40 hours a week, which has been super nice. But I think just like trying to remain consistent, even if it means it's like you're just doing like something for like 10 minutes, or you're just working on your craft for like a tiny bit every day, just maintaining some kind of consistency helps with that, I feel like.
No, thank you. It's just, I know there's a lot of artists out there who are like, how do you balance this? So it's a good question, and that's a great answer. Um, so I guess based on just like the social aspect of things, do you have a process in how you collaborate with others or brands? Like, do you have a typical thing that you do or you don't do when you're thinking, you're in the process of collaborating with someone?
Yeah, I think I've been really lucky so far where I mainly collaborate with like other friends who are artists and things like that. Like there's such a great community in Nashville where it's so like so many of my friends just do music already. So that definitely makes collaborating really easy. But I think I am a very collaborative person in general because you're always going to like learn something from a collaboration, even if it doesn't go like amazing, like you'll learn like okay, I don't like work in this way. And like, that's cool. That's information that you can use. Um, so I think, yeah, just working with friends mostly helps. But in the past, what I have been doing lately is kind of like locking in with a producer, and they'll handle like all the production stuff and I'll do the top line mainly.
Yeah.
Um, and that's kind of nice because it's like each person gets their own say and stuff, but we still have our own like wheelhouse that we're dealing with.
Yeah.
But lately, I've been like locking in with a producer for a project that I'm working on, and he's also been helping me like co-write on stuff, which has been it's been like tough because my lyrics, it's like you kind of have to take your ego out of it to the way that our process works is like I have a lot of the big like ideas and stuff, and then I kind of bring them to him, and he does a great job of like editing or like
Yeah.
doing bringing me down to earth because I have a lot of just crazy weird ideas a lot of the time. So that's been cool, but definitely having to like take your ego out of it and be like, okay, what is best for the song, not just like what's best for me in this moment kind of thing.
That's actually a very good way to look at it. Because you're right, like we all, I feel like we all can really get, especially if you're creative, you're someone who probably has so many ideas, probably about multiple things, not even just music in general. But I think when you do have all those thoughts, it is hard to narrow them down. So having that other person, kind of someone there to be like, hey, like I'm here to help you structure it out is awesome and is amazing.
Totally.
So cool. And do you feel like since that, or even since everything, do you feel like your music has evolved, and how has your music evolved since you started?
Yeah, think I definitely like started as very like pop music kind of.
Hmm.
And over the years, I've gotten more like R&B inspired, and then now this kind of like house R&B type thing.
Mm,
I think I'm really like a pop singer at heart. Like a lot of the melodies that I come up with are very like pop to me, but
mm,
I always gravitate towards more like R&B type stuff. I
yeah.
think also though, I would love to like I was so inspired by Doechie's latest project. I don't know if you heard that one, but I would like love to do something kind of like boom bap almost like that, or I also play live shows with my band, which is just kind of like my artist project, but I play with the same
Yeah.
people. And that's more of like a jazzy R&B type thing.
Yeah.
So I would love to like, I have so many different directions I would like love to go in, but definitely started from pop and then we just keep getting weirder and weirder.
Yeah. That's actually really cool. I think that's cool to it's cool to evolve because some people start off with a genre and they're great, but over time they're like, you know what, I really feel like my heart is in so many different places. You find your home in music over time. So that's really cool that you found kind of like your placement or what you're interested in. Um, and then I was gonna ask you as well, um, if you have any insight on any projects that are coming out. I know you have a project that just came out October 8th.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
have a
Yeah,
song, and
yeah.
Machine. Can you tell us about it? Just why you wrote it? What was the direction you were going in? How you feel about the release now that it's out?
Yeah,
What's
totally. Yeah, so that song that was also a collaboration with this producer Disc 2 in Nashville. So he made the whole beat for that one. And then we did it as like a joint release, but we had written that song together probably like 2 years ago, so it's a little bit old. I have been on more of like a like dance R&B vibe, but this is definitely a more kind of like chill, I would say
yeah,
like alt pop, alt R&B kind of song. But the inspiration kind of behind it, it's so funny that I was talking about being a server. It was actually like right when I started serving tables, and like I hated it so much and just felt like I was like grinding all the time. And I was like, I need to like drink so much coffee to like want to do this shift. And then I need to like get home and I like have a drink. And I'm like, oh my God, I like need my fix at every single point in this day just to like make
yeah,
it through. And I feel like, especially in the States, like we have such a hustle culture. It's like always go, go,
yes,
go, like have a side hustle in addition to your job. And just like, I really felt inspired to kind of like speak on that and almost acknowledge how like everyone kind of has their little like vices that they need to like partake in to get through the day almost. And kind of pointing out how like maybe that's not like sustainable or like a good idea to always have a culture that is so like go, go, go like that.
yeah. Oh my gosh.
I'm like, if you relate.
Yeah, it's just so crazy how many artists and I was talking in my last interview to Sheldon about how the music industry has changed so much and like the world has changed so much, but there's so many things that are the same that I feel like need to evolve. So it's cool that, artists are still like persevering in times of just craziness. And I hope over time we create these spaces to allow us to kind of like easily push out our music, easily work with our music alone and not have to do 9 to 5 and just be like, okay, I'm gonna make money off my craft and I'm not
Totally.
focus on all the other stuff that is so technical about it. So I think that's a great message in a song. I'm all for messages.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love that message. And then if you just based on, still looking back, because I always like to look back. I feel like when you look back, you can see a lot of growth and a lot of things that you would have changed or you would have told yourself. Is there something that you feel like you would have told your younger self when you were starting? Like, is there something that you were,
Yeah. I feel like I would definitely, since I started music at a pretty young age, and it was something where like it felt like it came easily to me. I feel like I've always had this kind of like delusional confidence, which is like definitely a good thing to have in some scenarios where I'm like, duh, like I'm so good at this. I'm gonna make that like
yeah,
this is like so meant to be my path. Like that I think is always like good and always like a good thing to have when you're pursuing this type of career. But if I were to say something to my younger self starting out, I think it would definitely be like move as if you aren't good at this, because like so many people start
mm,
good and then you kind of get comfortable and you're like, oh, I don't really have to like work hard at this because I'm just like good at it. But and I feel like I definitely like sometimes would just let that mindset
yeah.
like I would have that mindset, and I really wish I would have like could go back and be like, no, like work hard at this as if like you suck at music. Like and then just
Wow, yeah,
thinking about how good I would be now. But I definitely try to adopt that mindset now where it's like just work as if you aren't good at it at all.
yeah. Oh my God. No, this is so great. Everything you're saying is so great because it's a different way of looking at that whole idea. Because people usually, when they look back, I told Sheldon to him, like, keep your head up, something totally just like, but I think it's cool to think about it like failing often. And,
Totally. Yeah.
and so it's cool. And that kind of almost dances in the same circle as what you're saying. So I agree with that. I think that's a great piece of advice to tell your younger self.
Thank you.
Do you have any inspirations that you pull from or any people that you pull from that you're inspired by or that have helped you grow your sound?
Yeah, I think lately, I definitely pull from like so many different genres of music. Like, even though I make kind of like pop R&B stuff, I feel like I listen to hip hop all the time.
Yeah.
So like, I really love the new like Lexa Gates album that just came out. Like, I love the new Doechii album. Like, I was just listening to like Conductor Williams' album the other day. Like, I listen to a lot of hip hop, and I feel like that kind of influences my lyrical delivery a lot of the time. But I really pull from like all over the place. Like, I will also just like randomly listen to jazz standards and stuff like that. So I think it's kind of important to like go all across the board and just like listen to stuff that isn't necessarily in your genre to kind of just like, I don't know, have a unique sound.
Yeah. Are there any people in general that like when you were growing up, you were like, oh, I can't wait to like make music like this. Like, is there any specific person?
Oh my God. I was so like, I was a pop girl when I was little. Like,
Love it.
I had like the Britney CD. Like, I wanted to be like Britney.
Yeah.
I was also like, kind of like middle school, I was obsessed with Lady Gaga. Like, everything that she did. I had her whole, like, book of think the album was like The Fame. I had like
Oh,
all the piano like versions of the songs so I could play them all. I could like play that whole
I
album.
love,
Um, so she was definitely like that girl for me for a while.
oh yeah.
Um, and then like I don't know, Lana Del Rey, I like loved her. Like I was very, very big on like pop music until like college probably.
Wow. That's cool. It's so cool to hear the dynamic, like, because you're right, there are so many different people you can pull from. Even if you start off in one place, it's just going to evolve. You're just going to start finding things you love about everything. And it's so neat. I think once I heard somebody tell me, when I asked them that question, they said, you know, I pull from everywhere, but anything that has soul and honesty, like I love it, you know?
Dang, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's probably how we all feel like internally. We use certain people to display like what we're how we're, I guess, pinpointing that fact, you know? So it's kind of cool. Um,
Totally. Yeah, like any authenticity, I feel like people like see that and
yes.
like that is like the most inspirational part in itself. Just like seeing someone being so
Yeah.
them is just like, yeah,
Yeah.
so inspirational to
It's
me.
beautiful. And uh I know we talked about your song and I know it just came out, so I might be a little like premature and asking you what's next, but is do you, even if and you're pushing this now and I'm gonna be bumping it, but if you have any ideas or like thoughts that you're like, oh, I would love to do this in the next year or two, like do you have any thoughts on what's next for you?
Oh my gosh, yeah. So I have like a lot of stuff actually in the works right
Yeah.
now. Like I said, Machine was kind of like an older song that I just had and I was like, this needs to come out like before I drop all this new stuff.
Oh,
But me and this local producer, Andrew Twining, we've been pretty locked
mhm.
in and we're doing a collaborative project
Yeah.
together that he helped co-write a lot of the songs on that. So it'll be like one EP that is kind of like R&B,
Yeah.
and then we'll do another EP after that. That's more of like more of that dance R&B vibe.
Yeah.
Um, and I also went into the studio with my band recently, so we'll have some kind of like really cool live band R&B stuff coming as well. But that'll all hopefully be like starting off in January, and I think like 2025 is going to be a year just like filled with releases for me.
A good year. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
A good.
yes, I'm so excited.
Love that. Well, Claire, I mean, I feel like I've asked you all the questions and you've answered so amazing. Like your answers are awesome. Um, is there a place where people can find you or reach out to you? Like, how would you describe the best form of contact, like for people to find you?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, here on Instagram is good. I have my email actually linked in my profile. That is probably like for actual business inquiries, like that is the best way to reach me. My DMs can be like a black hole, unfortunately, sometimes. But I definitely still try to go through them and respond to all of them. But I'm on TikTok as Claire Maisto. I'm on YouTube as Claire Maisto. I honestly post on those probably a bit more than Instagram, but yeah.
That's great. You know, I'm looking at you and I'm like realizing that I think I remember the day that I found your video.
Oh no
And
way.
I think it might have just been released, your Cool Girl video. Um, I think when it was released, my friend reposted it, and she lived in Nashville.
Oh, sick.
Her name is Crystal Autumn. Do you know a
Wait, that
Autumn?
sounds so familiar,
I
but I'm
just
not
saw. I was like, oh my God, maybe she posted it. I found it and I reposted it. And then when we were doing your interview, I remember she was like, so good, like so good. And I was like, yay, like, and
sure.
further confirmed it. But I forgot that that is actually how. So I mean, she's an artist too, which made me think maybe you guys have been in passing at some point. So so cool.
That is
So
so cool. Oh my gosh, I love
I'll
that.
send this to her and she'll reach out and be like, yes, it was me. Um, but yeah, I love this, Claire. Thank you so much. It was so great
Thank
digitally meeting.
you. Yes, this was amazing. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, it's so fun. I love hearing everyone's stories. I just realized how much we just have a lack of information, you know, with each other as creators, and a lot of people don't get to have these conversations about their art. I feel like there's not a lot of interviews happening right now, and
Totally.
so many talented people that I feel like need to talk about what they're making and just who they are and why it's important to be doing what they're doing. And it allows other people to see it and kind of build off of just that inspiration of like, oh, somebody's like me, you know, there's someone like me.
Yes.
So I love that. Again, thank you so much. It's been so lovely. If you need to reach me at all, you know where to find me, girl. And everybody down there, follow Claire. She's got a new song out. It went out October 8th. It's called Machine. It's amazing. Listen to it.
Thank you
And
so much.
thank you so much. Have a good rest of your night.
Have a good one, you too.